One time.
This is something we've talked about before on the show, but I think it's important enough to talk about again, especially given your expertise on this. Let's talk about why 280E is still a thing. Here we are almost 3 years after these sales were first implemented, and 280E is still very present.
Not only is 280E present, but the IRS is becoming more aggressive to the industry in enforcing 280E.
More aggressive.
More aggressive.
Okay, real quick, our viewers, they know what's up, but the quick outline of what 280E is before you get into what I asked you about.
The real quick line is, whatever you make, the government's going to take.
Right.
That's the bottom line of 280E.
And isn't that taxes in general?
Well,
or marijuana companies?
no, this is even
so.
more so. The 280E was adopted about 30 years ago, and what it does is it disallows all of the deductions that a normal business could take for their normal business expenses. What it ends up, the practical effect, is that the tax is about 100% or more of your income.
And what is that percentage for a traditional business?
Typically, you'd be looking at 35% of net income.
So we're talking more than twice what normal businesses pay is what's being paid by marijuana businesses. So James, why is this still an issue here 3 years into these sales? And as you said, they're being more serious about going after cannabis businesses than they were 3 years ago.
We're certain that there are politics on the side of making cannabis illegal again. We're sure that there's politics going on that way, but the IRS, the official position, is we are just trying to enforce the tax code. Of course, this enforcement is taking the most aggressive approach possible with 280E to minimize the amount of income that the dispensaries can make on their shops.
And so do you think there is some sort of politics behind this? Is this
Yes.
the IRS saying this is a prohibition, still operating in kind of a prohibition state since this substance is still technically federally illegal?
It wouldn't be just in the state of Colorado, it's national. Mm-hmm. And we don't know. It is just speculation at this juncture. But it seems to be that there are two factions in the federal government. There are the pro-weed factions and there's the anti-weed factions. And it seems like what we're seeing is on the Treasury side, there is a lot of anti-weed faction going on there. It's hard to explain otherwise when you see the Department of Justice on the one hand taking a hands-off approach. Mm-hmm. But then the IRS, through Department of Treasury, which includes FinCEN and Federal
Sure.
Reserve and all of that, is taking a very anti-marijuana approach. There has to be politics going on somewhere in the background.
It would be a fun chart to create, all the federal agencies, who's, hands-off, semi-pro-weed, more understanding, who is, punitive, going after this industry any way that they can, even if it's through some semi-obscure code. I mean, is this code applied to any other business in a modern era? I mean, 280E, I can't imagine.
It's not being applied against any other industry that we know of at this time. It's possible, and the IRS has even alluded to the idea that it could be applied against the pharmaceutical industry, but it certainly has not at this time.